an image slideshow using JavaScript and HTML. So this is going to be a fun tutorial, and this is the code from the previous video. We are going to use the same concept, but I'm going to get rid of the code now. So I'm going to get rid of this code, and I'm going to delete these. All right. So let me just add an image, an h1 here. This says image slider, and right below it, I'm going to add an image. I'm going to give it an ID of image slider. So image slider. So this should be a small I. All right. So small image slider. Then I'm going to say source. So I have an image called donut1. So donut1. And let me just give it the width of 300. All right. So I have that image there. Let me add a button. And this button will have an ID of next image. So next image. And let me just say next. Okay, now inside of the script tag, we are going to store these elements inside of different variables. So I'm going to say constant image slider equals to document get element by ID, open two parentheses and two quotations. I'm going to say image slider, just like that. So I have to make sure that they match. So I'm going to save time and copy this. So I'm going to press Alt Shift and arrow down. So I'm going to change this one to next image, and this will be next image. So next image. All right. So I have that. I have this there. Let me just make one more variable that will store this button. So I want this button to be the previous one. All right. So this button, whenever I click on it, it's going to take me back to the previous image. So I'm going to give it the ID of prev. So prev, all right, for previous image. I'm going to say previous image. All right. So this will be next image here. Next image and previous image. So let me just say constant prev image equals to document by ID again. Open two parentheses, two quotations. So let me just copy that ID from there and paste it there. Okay, so now I have this there. Let me begin by declaring the click count. So I want to store my click counts inside of a variable. So I'm going to say click counts. So click counts equals to 0. So it will start from 0. All right, and right after it, what we are going to do is we are going to make a variable. So I'm going to say constant images equals to, and then open two square brackets. So instead of the square brackets, we are going to add the names of my images. So donuts.jpg. So I have donut1. I say donut1.jpg, then comma donut2.jpg, comma.
And donut 4, right? So I have added. So this will be inside applications. So donut 4. Alright, so now
I have them stored inside of that variable. Let me add a semicolon at the end of it. And now right here, let's make a function. So inside of this function, what we are going to do is that we are going to change the image. So this will be function change image. All right. So change image, and inside of it, we are going to make an if statement. So if statements. So if, open two parentheses and two curly braces. So inside of this condition, what we are going to do is we are going to say if click count is greater than or equals to the image's length. So if click counts is greater than or equals to images dot length. So what we are going to do is we are going to set the click count back to 0. So click counts equals to 0. So this will just set it back to 0. And right above the if statement, I'm going to make sure that I set the click counts to increment it, right? So whenever I click on it, it's going to increment this to 1. And if this is true, this will set it back to 0. So this is what we have so far. And let's attach this to the button. So let me just attach it. All right, so now we are going to attach this function to this button. And now right after the variables, I'm going to say, for example, next image dot add event listener, open 2 parentheses and 2 quotation. So I'm going to say click. Whenever I click on it, I'm going to say comma. So the name of the function is change image. I'm going to type that in, change image, and add a semicolon at the end of it. So save it, and now if we click on next image, oops, you see it doesn't work for some reason. So let's see, is it next image? So yeah, the name is correct. So next image, so change image. So if click counts greater than images dot length, okay, click counts goes to 0. Oh, okay, I'm forgetting something. So you see, this is working, but we are not changing the source of the image. So we'll have to make sure that we change the source. So I'm going to say image slider dot source equals to, so images, and open 2 square brackets. I'm going to say click counts. All right, so now this should work now. Okay, so do I have image slider? Yeah, I have the image slider there. So you see outside of the, so inside of the function, we have made this if statement, and this if statement just sets back the image back to 0. So it's going to start from the beginning if this is true, and this will change the image source. So let's click on next now. So next image, you see it goes to the next one, next one, next one, and it goes back to the beginning. So now we have the next image working, but I want to make the previous image works. So the previous image is going to be basically similar. So right after this function, so this is the end of this function, I'm going to make another function here. So I'm going to say function previous image. So previous image, or let's see, back image. I'm going to name it back image. So back image, open 2 parentheses and 2 curly braces. We're going to say let counts minus minus. All right, so I have 2 minus signs. But you see, if I don't add a space here, you will not see that they are minus signs. It looks like a dash, but actually they are 2 minus signs. All right, so click counts minus minus. So this will do the opposite of the first function that increments it. So now inside of this, we are going to make an if statement again. So if, open 2 parentheses. So I'm going to say if click counts is less than 0. All right, so if click counts is less than 0, we are going to say click counts. So click counts equals to, and then we are going to say images dot length minus 1. All right, so if this is true, it's going to set the images length minus 1. It's going to just go to the previous one. So now right after it, what we're going to do is we are going to change the image slider. So this is the end of the if statement. So this is the function. All right, so what happened? So I have the if statement. Where are my curly braces? So I need to place one here. Okay, so my curly braces are here now. So now I'm going to copy this whole image slider and paste it right after this if statement. So this is the same thing. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it to the previous button. So let me just go copy that variable name. So I'm going to do it right after this one. So prev image dot add event listener, 2 parentheses and 2 quotations. I'm going to say click. Whenever I click on it, I want to run the back image. So back image. So now if I click on previous image, you see it goes to the previous one. Okay, so let me just resize it a little bit. Okay, so now let me just refresh it. All right, so this is the first image. Whenever I click on next, it's going to go to the next one. This will be the next one, and this will be the last one. But if you want to go to the previous one, you click on previous, and it will take you to the previous one, basically. All right, so I hope you liked the video, and I'm going to share the code with you all on my GitHub. So I hope that this video was not too difficult. I hope that you have learned something new, and I hope that it was fun. So this is it, and I'll share the code with you all in the comments. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'm out.